Competition in the Tri-States is coming back, and economic leaders say they're hopeful this friendly competition will spark new businesses in the area. WGEM's Claire Adelin reports from Brown County tonight on how this business competition has helped former contestants get their businesses off the ground and how it aims to help its local economy.
In 2022, Two Wheels Trading Company's owner, Jeff Schmitz, had a dream. And that dream became a reality.
I have never run a business before, never done anything business.
Schmitz says it's all thanks to a business pitch he participated in 2 years ago. Action Brown County's startup competition.
Going through some of the process that Action Brown County requires you to do in order to participate was very eye-opening.
He says what he gained from the experience, such as public speaking and feedback, was invaluable.
All kind of pushed me to continue on, even though I didn't actually win the competition. But all of those things showed me that it is possible.
Now it's possible once again. Applications are set to open on August 15th.
So this is a competition for people that might have an idea that they want to see, or maybe they see a need in Brown County and they think they have a business idea to kind of solve that need.
Action Brown County's Executive Director Alex Giesler says after applying, participants will have to come up with a business plan and pitch their ideas. They'll also get to attend a series of workshops such as marketing and branding. A group of finalists will be chosen, and the winner will get $20,000 to start their business within Brown County.
We always want to make sure we're stirring economic development.
Giesler says in 2022, they had 17 applicants. Of those, 3 businesses, including Schmitz's, became a reality. Schmitz says Two Wheels continues to thrive in Mount Sterling.
We're up 26% from where we were this time last year.
And that's Claire Adelin reporting. Giesler says an informational meeting will take place on August 20th. A West Point